Hey everyone, this is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row. Thanks so much for listening to the following broadcast, courtesy of Public House Media.
Do you need some extra motivation in your life? Are you looking to be inspired? If so, then look no further than the Good God Company.
At the Good God Company, their mission is to create and clothe all loving humans with their unique, inspiring, and beautifully designed t-shirts.
All of the products from the Good God Company are equally designed to motivate you and improve your life. From their mugs, workout tanks, to eye-appealing shirts and sweatshirts.
Learn more about their renowned products by visiting thegoodgodcompany.com. That's thegoodgodcompany.com.
The Good God Company is proud to support Public House Media. The Good God Company. I'm feeling good.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten, here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
Coffee with Keith
and Katie on Public House Media.
and we are thrilled to be coming at you, as we always do, from our apartment on Chicago's North Side on our couch. However, we're not doing it live anymore.
You're not.
We're not live. This is a produced show now.
Very, very...
Very fancy.
Yes.
We're going to start drinking our coffee with our pinkies out now. For those of you that have never watched before, thank you for joining us for the first time. For those of you that have always watched us, like David, always commenting, David and Greg from the Greg and Dave Show on Public House Media. Hey,
First official plug.
everyone, keep checking out all the other great shows on Public House Media as well. But we've decided to go with a produced show. We no longer have that interaction with everyone. However, you can still comment, still interact with us below on the comment section, and we will certainly get back to you.
Only
Why?
positive comments. Only positive. We don't respond to negative.
Get ready for a flood of negative comments to come
You
our
can
way.
handle that,
I'll
though.
respond to it.
He'll
I'll
do negative.
Yeah, I'll deal with the negative stuff. Katie will deal with the positive stuff. But for those of you, again, that are just might be joining us, why coffee with Keith and Katie? Why? Well, we enjoy having coffee together.
We love coffee. It's been the foundation of our relationship since the beginning. When we were broke college students, that's what we could afford. People gave us gift cards to Starbucks, and that's where we could go on our dates. And now that we're broke adults living in the city, we still live on Starbucks gift cards.
We met we met in theater class in college. First unofficial date was in a coffee shop. I told Katie that I needed help studying for a test. Said, hey, how about we meet in the coffee shop on campus? So she said, great. So before we were even together, our first face-to-face interaction was over coffee.
Yep.
So we have to keep the tradition alive.
We do. We have our best conversations over coffee, and we thought we'd share them with you.
Yeah, so hope you enjoy sharing your coffee with us as much as we enjoy sharing our coffee with you.
Yeah.
So, the first show that we're doing is kind of shares our background, where we're from. We're both from Wisconsin.
Yep.
We both went to a school called Carroll University, which
In
is
Waukesha,
in
Wisconsin.
Waukesha, Wisconsin. So, up until we moved to Chicago, we spent our entire lives in Wisconsin. Grew up in Wisconsin, went to school in Wisconsin,
Yep.
got married in Wisconsin.
Yep.
So,
Did.
what better way for you guys to get to know us a little better than share a Wisconsin experience with us?
Yeah.
Katie, where are you from?
I'm from Pittsville, Wisconsin, which is the exact center of the state, geographical.
So if you're looking at Wisconsin,
It's right here.
it's right there.
Here. It's here. Not the middle of your hand. That's
not-
Madison. Right here.
This is Madison. This is
This is
where I'm from. This is like Michigan right here. So Katie's from Pittsville, Wisconsin.
I'm from Pittsville, Wisconsin.
If you don't know where Pittsville is, what is it closest to?
Marshfield is the biggie, but probably Stevens Point.
Stevens Point, probably what
We're
people
about
would know most.
45 minutes from Stevens Point.
But the Marshfield Clinic, don't just live, shine. First unofficial sponsor.
Yeah.
They didn't pay for that one. We're going to have to go back and get it from them later.
We're gonna have to.
But Stevens Point, probably. A lot of
Stevens
people have
Point.
heard of UW Stevens Point.
Yeah.
So what's Pittsville like? Before we get a snapshot of it, tell us a little bit about Pittsville.
It's tiny. It's a rural community. It's not really a city. Like, by most people's standards, it's not a city. Anyway, it has about just under 900 people, I think, residing in it. There were 63 people in my graduating class. I think 250 in the entire high school.
Wow.
So it's very, very small community, a lot of farms, just a great rural area away from traffic and sirens. You can see the stars at night.
Polar opposite of Chicago.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. You mentioned the stars at night. It's amazing. She lives in the middle of nowhere, Yeah. Pittsville is located in the middle of nowhere, and her house is located in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Within Pittsville.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the stars at night, I mean, definitely great. Stars at night, big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
We sing and dance too.
We sing that, yeah. This is a produced show, but you're definitely not losing a little bit of the live atmosphere as we always had. We're not going to edit this out because
That's not
if
us.
we edited this,
we
wouldn't be us.
No.
Right. So hey, that's who we are as a couple. We're probably very annoying for you guys.
Oh well.
Hey,
You're the one who
keep
chose to
watching
watch
because
this.
we have a lot more cool stuff to come.
We do.
I'm from a town called Kaukauna, Wisconsin. So if you're looking at Wisconsin, this is Lake Michigan. This is Pittsville. This is Madison. This is Kaukauna, about right there.
Right there.
We're about 20 miles south of Green Bay.
Okay.
Everybody has heard of Green Bay, I'm sure. The Green
Yeah.
Bay Packers. Go Pack, go.
Yay!
Big Packer
Aaron
fans.
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre. Town of about 15,000. We would say Kaukauna is a small town in Wisconsin.
He would say.
Kaukauna is a small town. Katie's village of Pittsville is a small village.
It's a city.
Kaukauna is a small town. One high school. Everybody in Kaukauna usually goes to Kaukauna High School.
We have one high school as well.
One large middle school. There are about 2 middle schools in it. You probably went to Riverview Middle School or St. Mary's, I think, if you went the Catholic route. Katie shared how many students she had in her class. We had about the size of Katie's high school in our class. So we had 250 to 300 kids in my class, probably about 1,000 to 1,200 students in Kaukauna High School. For a lot of high schools in the Chicago area, that's very small. Mm-hmm. So I came from a small town of Kaukauna. Katie came from the small town of Pittsville. We both lived in Pittsville together for a while before we moved to Chicago. So we moved from a town of 900 people to
3 million.
3 million in the whole Chicago metropolitan area.
And
so
it was a surprise.
that's something else. So obviously, where we grew up, the experiences that we had were much different than what we have now. We've been in Chicago for 7 years now. But it's always great to go back to Wisconsin, go back to Pittsville, go back to my area to check out some of the things that we experienced growing up. So we thought that would be a great idea in order for you guys to get to know us the best, to see how we grew up, how we spent a little bit of our childhood.
Yeah.
So
The fun things to do in and around our hometowns.
burn things at a fire.
Burn things. Go to Lambeau Field.
Go to the local Walmart.
The Walmart.
The Walmart. Go to the Walmart. We don't have Southern accents up in Wisconsin.
Not the Walmart.
So that is coming up in the next segment of this show. Do not go away. We'll be right back for more coffee with Keith and Katie with some views from the heartland of Wisconsin.
Good boy.
Good job, bud.
We are joining you on the road again.
Woohoo!
We are on the way to
Oh, there goes Sal.
Wisconsin. The train is right next to the road here.
The train is going faster than we are.
That's the point. We are on our way to Wisconsin. We are going to spend some time at both parents' places. We're going to Katie's parents first, and then we will end the week in Wisconsin in my hometown with my parents. So, having a nice little vacay in mid-August should be very pleasant. We have Mr. Fuzzy Face with us in the back.
Say hello, Mr. Fuzzy Face.
I said I didn't want to be on camera.
So when you've been away from home for a while, this is what you come home to. You have several downed trees. Dad cut down an entire tree over there. Several downed trees and large piles of firewood just waiting for Keith. Keith, did we check the fire danger today before we start building the fire?
No, we didn't.
Okay, do we need to check the fire danger today?
No, we're already past that.
We're past that. We are right next to a pond. There's a pond right here. There's a hose very close by. It smells good.
Does smell good.
Smells like summer.
Well, that's all it is.
That's all it is, huh?
When you have a bunch of dry wood and some dried leaves and a little bit of hay there, you really don't need much of a technique. All you got to do is just throw a bunch of stuff into a ring and light a match. Just all natural resource.
All natural?
Yeah.
We're close enough to see her muscles outlined.
You can see the muscles and you can see the bugs that are on her face there. Yeah. You're pretty, aren't you?
Very
Yeah,
pretty.
You're very pretty.
You sniffing? Yeah?
Now, deer here are really common, obviously. We're in the middle of the woods and in central Wisconsin, but it's still cool when you get up close and get to hang out with one of these guys.
I don't want to go too fast and spook her. Hey!
She's got flies all over her face.
She's got bugs all over her face.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think this is close enough for now.
you think so?
Yeah.
We don't want to bother you too much, little dear. Yeah, you gonna head out?
See you later.
Thanks for stopping.
We have another wild animal right here.
We do? What's over here? Oh my goodness. The terrifying s'moresy!
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She attacked me good.
We got s'moresy when she was just a little kitten. Adopting animals in Wisconsin is much different from in the city.
You just take one.
You just take one. There was an ad in the paper that said, free kittens. So we went to a nearby farm.
And we said, we'll take that one.
Yep, pretty much.
And they said, okay, go ahead. Calm down.
She is an outside cat.
She killed a full-size blue jay.
It was terrifying.
She came up to the back porch there
We were all
With
eating
a-
lunch.
with a blue jay hanging from her mouth. She had a big, huge, freaking blue jay. Had it by the neck.
Didn't you? It's terrifying.
You're a wild hunter.
You straight up murdered another animal.
This is how I spent my summers. Climbing trees.
You're pretty high up there.
I should probably get down. I probably shouldn't go any farther, but
No, that ain't gonna hold you much more.
it's a pretty strong tree.
It looks,
I might be able to walk all the way down.
I think it'll break before you get all the way down. Don't trust it?
How's it going, everyone?
Hey guys.
We are in front of Lambeau Field here. This is the ending of our Wisconsin trip. We showed you some earlier footage from early in the week. We were in Pittsville. We were doing some cool things at Katie's parents' place, and now we had to experience one of the best places there is, at least where I grew up, and that is right near Lambeau Field. So whenever we're here, we have to go and check it out, and we just wanted to catch you guys from here quick, just so you guys could experience this with us. Dad, we're at Lambeau Field. Tell us something about it.
Well, the first time I came to Lambeau Field was for the Bear game in 1963. I love the place. Been coming here to games ever since, and it's always a big place just to come and see one more time.
Mom, what's the best game at Lambeau Field you've ever been to?
The best game
The most memorable.
The most memorable was the game in 1983 when the Packers beat Washington 48-47. It was the highest scoring Monday night football game ever.
Welcome back, everyone,
Hey,
to
guys.
Coffee with Keith and Katie. And we hope you enjoyed our previous segment where we shared a little bit of Wisconsin with you. Hope you guys enjoyed that. But we're back on our third and final segment of this show. And it's usually everyone's favorite part of the show, which is called NFL or NBA.
Yes.
Or
That's the game that Keith plays with me, and then I get to play Stump Keith, or the name game.
it's trivia. It's sports trivia. I'm a big sports person. Obviously, as you saw, we were at Lambeau Field. As Katie said, where I grew up, there are really not a lot of big things to see. So sometimes, as true small town Wisconsin, you just go to see Lambeau Field sometimes. But I grew up a big sports fan. Katie has since become quite a bit of a sports fan
I've
herself.
always been a Packers fan.
Always been a Packers
Always.
fan.
Upon getting involved with you, I became more involved in sports, and now I work for the Cubs, so I kind of have to be knowledgeable.
So Katie, surprisingly for me, she actually caught on with a lot of the sports rather quickly. However, one thing that she does not know and has never known are the names of the players on the teams in the leagues. She can't do it.
No.
She might be able to tell you how the Packers did on Sunday, and she usually does pretty well with Packer player names. However, the starting
they have an entirely new roster
the starting quarterback for the other team, no way. You know, who did Clinton Dix pick off in the fourth quarter to win the game? She doesn't know.
I don't care.
Who scored the touchdown for the other team to take the lead? She doesn't know. Who do the Packers have next week? She doesn't know.
I'll worry about that when we get there.
So it's incredibly entertaining for me and for other sports fans in the NFL and the NBA. We're usually with NFL or NBA, and I give Katie the name of a usually well-known NFL player or well-known NBA player, and she has to tell us whether or not they played in the NFL or the NBA.
And I use my own special kind of logic to get there.
It's incredible. It's a logic that you can just not argue with because there's no logic to it whatsoever. So how can you argue How can you have a logical argument about something that is not logical at all?
Let's show them.
You can't.
Let's show them an example of my logical thinking.
All right. Katie.
Do it. Yes.
Number 1.
Yep.
Player number 1. I have them written down here,
Okay.
so I didn't forget them.
I'm not looking.
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod what?
Tyrod Taylor.
Is Tyrod one name?
Tyrod is one name. Now apparently it's pronounced Tyrod. His real name is Tyrod, but so many people have called him Tyrod through the course of his life and in the media that he's just gone with it. It's like Parks and Rec, where they just call Jerry Gary, or because somebody just called him the wrong name one time, so he just decided to go with it. NFL or NBA for Tyrod Taylor.
I wanted to say MLB because of A-Rod, so then he would be related to Tyrod. But it's NFL or NBA, so it's probably not MLB. I am going to say NFL. It's just a football name. Tyrod, very strong. NFL.
NFL is correct.
Ooh, see?
Tyrod Taylor, he is going to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, although Baker Mayfield will probably start the season on the bench, and he will probably take over for Tyrod Taylor after a couple games when the season starts, because the Browns are going to do probably not so great, and they are going to ease Baker Mayfield into the starting job. So,
nothing happened to Baker Mayfield.
No, when you're excited to see Baker Mayfield play week 1, he might not.
Okay, the one name I know and he won't play.
There you go. So, 1 for 1.
Yay!
Pretty good. Number 2, Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward. Hayward is a basketball name. I can't think of who else has it. Someone else is named Hayward in the NBA.
Dwight Howard, maybe you're thinking of?
Nope.
No?
It's a Hayward.
You might be thinking of Gordon Hayward.
I don't think that's it, though. I'm going to say NBA.
You would be correct.
Oh!
Gordon Hayward is an outstanding NBA player. He plays for the Boston Celtics. He was injured all last season. He got injured within the first 9 minutes of the first game last year.
Rough.
And it was heartbreaking. You didn't even have to be a Boston Celtics fan, a Gordon Hayward fan, but you see the injury. It was a gruesome injury, and you just had to feel bad for the guy because he was going to have an outstanding season, but he's going to come back this year, and he's going to be great again. But anyways, Gordon Hayward.
Yay!
NBA, 2 for 2. 2 for 2 for Katie.
Yeah.
Third and final name.
Do it.
Tony Parker.
Tony Parker is NBA because he was married to Eva Longoria.
Ooh.
Perhaps they are still married. I don't know.
That's a good one. I didn't think that you'd catch on to that one. Tony Parker is a great NBA player. He's older. He played for the Spurs his entire career, but now he is with the Charlotte Hornets.
Oh.
So probably for his final season, I'm guessing. But, Katie.
3 for 3.
3 for 3. Nice job.
Thank you. Very exciting.
Showing me up on the first produced show.
Very first show. I got 3 out of 3. That's pretty exciting, guys.
All right, but we're not done with our game yet.
We're not.
Because
now we have to go on to Keith. For Keith, we play the name game, or Stump Keith. Keith and his whole family know where everyone in the world went to college. It's amazing to watch them all.
For athletes. We don't know where everyone went, but for athletes.
Everyone. So
sometimes we'll do that, right? But
right.
Sometimes it's something different.
Right. So, either way, our job is to stump Keith. Today,
not gonna happen.
You're gonna tell me where these people went to college. All right? And then there's gonna be a bonus question at the end.
Going the college route today.
Going the college route.
Okay.
All right. Bob Long.
Bob Long. So Bob Long is an old Packer player. He was a wideout when the Packers won the Super Bowls back in the 60s. For those of you that don't know who Bob Long is.
Plural. Super Bowls.
Super Bowls.
Yeah.
1 and 2, maybe. Where did Bob Long go to college?
I really thought you would know this. Keith has met Bob Long.
I have. He used to work Packer football camps, and he was one of the old Packer players that came and spoke to some people. Where did Bob Long go? Is it a Wisconsin school?
Nope.
I have no idea.
Wichita State.
Wichita State, the Shockers, known for their basketball now.
Oh.
But okay, Bob Long, Wichita State.
That's where he went.
Good. All right, Keith. 0 for 1.
0 for 1. I'm
Man.
already winning.
All right.
All right. Donald Driver.
Donald Driver went to Alcorn State.
Yes.
Boom. Another Packer wideout.
Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham. Another Packer player. Wide receiver.
Oh, I know.
I think so.
So does wide out mean wide receiver?
Wide out, wide receiver.
Why can't they just
however.
use the same name every time? Why?
I don't know. Jimmy Graham. Big Ten school?
No. I actually asked you this on a previous show.
Did you really? I'm sure my dad knows. I'd like to phone a friend.
Do people even recognize that reference?
I have Jimmy Graham. He went to San Diego State.
Miami.
Shoot.
Miami, Florida.
Oh, Jimmy Graham.
Who did you think?
Our current tight end.
Yeah.
I was completely thinking like old Packer guys. I was not thinking current Packer players at all. Bob Long in the 60s. Donald Driver's been retired for like 4 or 5 years. I was thinking old retired Packer players. Jimmy Graham went to Miami, also played basketball at Miami.
That's right.
And he played for the Saints, and he played for the Seahawks, and now he plays for the Packers. I know who Jimmy Graham is, and I know where he went to college.
I don't think you do. So Keith is 1 for 3.
1 for 3.
1 for 3, but there's
Should
a
have
bonus
been 2
question.
It should have been 2 for 3.
Okay, that's on you.
That's on me.
Bonus question.
They all wore number 80.
Yeah.
Boom. Knew that one. Yeah.
Really hope to get him on that one.
So 2 for 4.
2 for 4.
2 for 1 for
We'll
3
make
with
it-
extra credit.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, Jimmy Graham. I can't.
I won. I'm the champion.
Katie won this week. Can't believe. Well, she would have won anyways because I didn't know where Bob Long went to college.
Yep.
But I would have gotten the extra credit, so I would have been 3 for 3 with the extra credit.
Who were you thinking Jimmy Graham was? You said he was a wideout.
I don't.
Which I knew couldn't be right because I said, did he replace Jordy Nelson? And you said, no. Jordy Nelson is a wide receiver.
Right. Jordy Nelson is a wide receiver. Jimmy Graham is a tight end. So he did not replace Jordy Nelson on the depth chart. However, did he replace Jordy Nelson as, hey, we need someone for Aaron Rodgers to throw to again other than Devontae Adams? Yes, he did replace Jordy Nelson that way. I wasn't even thinking current Jimmy Graham.
Is there a previous Jimmy Graham? It seems
Probably
like a
not.
common enough name.
It just seemed like an old time back. Oh my goodness. I'm embarrassed. You see, this is how you know that we're not editing this out because there's no way I would allow this to go out to the masses. But to stay true to the show,
We're committed
to stay
a
true to
produced
ourselves.
Show.
Hey, I'm not going to edit this out, even though I should.
You won't, though. I won't let you.
I'm embarrassed. What a great way to end our first show. Our first produced show. Our 81st show on Public House Media.
It's very exciting.
So for those of you that have been watching us on Facebook Live on Public House Media, our past schedule was every Monday and Thursday at 7:30. No longer the case. One show a week, coming out every Sunday.
Every Sunday morning.
Every Sunday morning. So you'll have all Sunday to watch it and the entire week to watch it up until the next Sunday morning where you can
get bored at
catch us
church,
again.
Watch it. Get bored during halftime.
Get bored at church, you're going to be
watch
like, yes, Father. Yeah. That's how
we
you
will
do.
understand.
Yeah.
We are here for you on Sundays.
When you're watching the NFL on Fox, when you get sick of Terry Bradshaw, hey, tune
Bring
back
it over
into
here.
us.
Whatever Joe Buck's doing that day and Troy Aikman, move on. Come over to us.
Switch on over to Coffee with Keith and Katie. But hey, we're looking forward to having more great shows with you guys. We've done we've done an incredible job so far.
We have. I think we have. I've had fun.
We've had an incredible time, is what I wanted to say. We've had an incredible time thus far with 80 live shows and our 81st show, our first produced show. So hopefully you guys keep coming back. We'll be more than happy to have you, communicate with you. Again, comment in the comment section below, and we'll be sure to get back to you. Everyone, this has been a pleasure doing our first produced show of Coffee with Keith
and Katie on Public House Media.
Have a great week, and we will see you later.
Bye, guys.